Day 28 in the month of October. Reading from the book of Proverbs, chapter 28, verse 1 to 28. New International Version. This passage, Proverbs 28, provides wisdom on various aspects of life, from righteousness and leadership to generosity and humility. We'll examine each verse and draw practical illustrations for everyday life, making these principles clear and relatable. Proverbs 28:1. The wicked flee, though no one pursues, but the righteous are as bold as a lion. This verse highlights the internal fear that often accompanies a guilty conscience. Those who live with dishonesty or hidden sin may feel pursued by their own guilt, while those with a clear conscience feel fearless and confident. Imagine someone who constantly lies to others. They often worry about being found out and feel anxious, even when there's no threat. But a person who is truthful walks with confidence, like a lion, because they have nothing to hide. Proverbs 28:2. When a country is rebellious, it has many rulers, but a ruler with discernment and knowledge maintains order. Societies filled with unrest and division can experience instability, with leaders changing often. But a leader who is wise and discerning can bring stability. A company with frequent changes in management often experiences chaos because each leader may bring different goals. However, a wise and experienced manager can guide the team with consistency, bringing growth and stability to the workplace. Proverbs 28:3. A ruler who oppresses the poor is like a driving rain that leaves no crops. A leader who oppresses the vulnerable harms society, leaving it barren rather than fruitful. Picture a landlord who raises rent beyond what tenants can afford, driving families into financial distress. This action doesn't build a healthy community. It strips it of resources, leaving it unproductive, like a storm that destroys crops. Proverbs 28:4. Those who forsake instruction praise the wicked, but those who heed it resist them. People who ignore wisdom and guidance often end up supporting wrongdoers, while those who follow instruction actively resist evil. In a workplace, employees who ignore company rules may end up enabling unethical behavior, like theft. However, those who respect guidelines help prevent wrongdoing, creating a healthier work environment. Proverbs 28:5. Evildoers do not understand what is right, but those who seek the Lord understand it fully. Those who do evil struggle to comprehend righteousness, while those who seek God gain a clear understanding of what is right. Consider two friends, one who cheats and lies, while the other seeks to live honestly. The one who seeks honesty understands the value of integrity more deeply, while the other might see honesty as an obstacle rather than a virtue. Proverbs 28:6. Better the poor whose walk is blameless than the rich whose ways are perverse. Integrity holds greater value than wealth gained through wrongful means. A person with modest income but strong integrity is often more respected than a wealthy individual known for unethical practices. People naturally admire character over wealth when true values are upheld. Proverbs 28:7. A discerning son heeds instruction, but a companion of gluttons disgraces his father. A wise person listens to guidance, while one who associates with those who indulge in excess can bring shame to their family. A student who spends time with disciplined friends excels, while one who associates with irresponsible peers can fall into trouble, disappointing those who invested in their success. Proverbs 28:8. Whoever increases wealth by taking interest or profit from the poor amasses it for another, who will be kind to the poor. Wealth gained by exploiting others does not last. Eventually, it will be passed to someone who will use it with compassion. A loan shark who profits off high interest rates from the needy may seem prosperous, but eventually, their wealth may diminish and go to someone who invests in others, leaving a legacy of kindness instead. Proverbs 28:9. If anyone turns a deaf ear to my instruction, even their prayers are detestable. Ignoring God's instruction can make even a person's prayers unacceptable, as a hardened heart lacks sincerity, like a student who continually disregards advice, yet expects special consideration. A person who ignores God's guidance yet expects blessings shows insincerity. Proverbs 28:10. Whoever leads the upright along an evil path will fall into their own trap, but the blameless will receive a good inheritance. Those who try to lead others astray often find themselves ensnared by their own schemes, while the innocent inherit blessings. In a business, someone who encourages dishonesty may eventually lose trust, while honest employees gain respect and better opportunities. Proverbs 28:11. The rich are wise in their own eyes. One who is poor and discerning sees how deluded they are. Wealth can sometimes create a false sense of superiority, while those with discernment see beyond appearances. A wealthy person may overlook advice, assuming they know best, while a humble individual recognizes the value of learning and grows wiser. Proverbs 28:12. When the righteous triumph, there is great elation, but when the wicked rise to power, people go into hiding. Righteous leadership brings joy and freedom, while wicked rule causes fear and distress. Communities flourish under fair leaders, but when a corrupt leader gains power, people become cautious and wary, fearing injustice. Proverbs 28:13. Whoever conceals their sins does not prosper, but the one who confesses and renounces them finds mercy. Concealing wrongdoing stifles growth, but confession brings forgiveness and freedom. A student hiding mistakes in a project struggles to progress, while one who acknowledges and corrects errors learns and improves. Proverbs 28:14. Blessed is the one who always trembles before God, but whoever hardens their heart falls into trouble. This verse encourages humility and reverence toward God. A person who respects God's authority will be blessed, while a hardened heart when closed to God's guidance can lead to trouble. A gardener who listens to experienced advice on tending their plants enjoys a healthy garden, while someone who ignores instructions faces withered plants. Similarly, those who heed God's wisdom avoid pitfalls that a hardened heart cannot see. Proverbs 28:15. Like a roaring lion or a charging bear is a wicked ruler over a helpless people. A ruthless ruler is compared to a fierce predator. Such a leader causes fear and harm to those they govern, creating an oppressive environment. Imagine a manager who frequently threatens and intimidates employees. This leader instills fear rather than loyalty, making the workplace feel hostile and draining the team's morale. Proverbs 28:16. A tyrannical ruler practices extortion, but one who hates ill-gotten gain will enjoy a long reign. Leaders who exploit others or gain through unethical means often do not last, but those who value honesty and fairness build a legacy of respect and longevity. A politician who takes bribes may have short-term gains, but ultimately, such practices are exposed, ending their career. In contrast, a fair-minded leader earns long-term trust and respect, allowing them to serve effectively over time. Proverbs 28:17. Anyone tormented by the guilt of murder will seek refuge in the grave. Let no one hold them back. This verse speaks to the heavy burden of guilt from severe wrongdoing, which can feel unbearable and lead to destructive paths. Seeking true repentance and peace is essential. A person overwhelmed with guilt for past actions may isolate themselves, feeling they can't face others. Reaching out for forgiveness and help could offer relief, while isolation only deepens the weight of remorse. Proverbs 28:18. The one whose walk is blameless is kept safe, but the one whose ways are perverse will fall into the pit. Integrity acts as a shield, offering protection, while dishonest and twisted ways often lead to downfall. Think of a driver who follows traffic laws and safely reaches their destination, while one who takes dangerous shortcuts risks accidents. Living honestly keeps us from many avoidable troubles. Proverbs 28:19. Those who work their land will have abundant food, but those who chase fantasies will have their fill of poverty. Diligence in productive work leads to provision, but relying on shortcuts or unrealistic dreams often leads to disappointment. A farmer who steadily tends his crops harvests in season, while someone who neglects real work for a get-rich-quick scheme often finds themselves in financial hardship. Proverbs 28:20. A faithful person will be richly blessed, but one eager to get rich will not go unpunished. Consistency and faithfulness bring blessings, While an obsession with wealth often leads to unwise, sometimes destructive, choices, a person who steadily saves and invests grows their wealth over time, while someone trying to strike it rich quickly may engage in risky ventures that bring loss. Proverbs 28-21. To show partiality is not good, yet a person will do wrong for a piece of bread. Favoritism and bias can lead to injustice, and even small temptations can lead people to compromise their values. In a classroom, a teacher who favors certain students breeds resentment. Similarly, a person may tell a small lie for personal gain, which, though seemingly harmless, reflects compromised values. Proverbs 28-22. The stingy are eager to get rich and are unaware that poverty awaits them. Greed often blinds people to the consequences of their actions. While they may hoard for themselves, it ultimately leads to loss, either materially or relationally. A business owner who cuts corners and underpays workers may save money initially, but loses goodwill and loyalty, which can lead to long-term business decline. Proverbs 28-23. Whoever rebukes a person will, in the end, gain favor rather than one who has a flattering tongue. Honest correction, though difficult, builds respect over time, whereas flattery only gives temporary satisfaction. A friend who lovingly corrects another when they're wrong is valued more over time than a friend who always flatters. Avoiding the truth. The truthful friend helps build character, while the flatterer contributes nothing lasting. Proverbs 28-24. Whoever robs their father or mother and says, "It's not wrong," partner to one who destroys. Disrespecting or exploiting family is as harmful as outright theft or destruction, as it betrays trust. An adult child who takes advantage of an elderly parent's finances, justifying it as their right, breaks family bonds and sows seeds of mistrust. Proverbs 28-25. The greedy stir up conflict, but those who trust in the Lord will prosper. Greed often leads to discord and strife, while trusting in God brings true success and peace. Two business partners, one driven by greed and the other by faith, often clash. The one with faith finds peace and growth by focusing on honest work, while the greedy partner faces relational and ethical issues. Proverbs 28-26. Those who trust in themselves are fools, but those who walk in wisdom are kept safe. Self-reliance without wisdom can lead to folly, but seeking wisdom provides protection and guidance. Someone who ignores advice and insists on their way may face failure, while one who seeks input and acts wisely avoids many pitfalls. Proverbs 28-27. Those who give to the poor will lack nothing, but those who close their eyes to them receive many curses. Generosity brings blessings, while ignoring the needs of others invites hardship. A community member who helps those in need finds support and goodwill in return, while someone who ignores the needy often finds themselves isolated and unsupported in their own time of need. Proverbs 28-28. When the wicked rise to power, people go into hiding, but when the wicked perish, the righteous thrive. Wicked leadership brings fear and instability, while the removal of such power brings freedom and growth for the righteous. A town under a corrupt leader sees people withdrawing from public life, but when a just leader steps in, the community flourishes and people come together. This concludes the expanded study of Proverbs 28. Each verse encourages reflection on character, leadership, and actions toward others, grounding wisdom in everyday life and illustrating how righteousness can lead to true prosperity and peace. May the good Lord bless His word in our hearts and help us to be doers of His word. In Jesus' mighty name, amen. Kindly subscribe and turn on post notification for more prayers and Bible reading. God bless you.